The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And on again, off again, apparently on again, the Iran deal. And apparently Iran is opening up nuclear sites to UN inspectors. Dominic Carter here with you. A lot to get to this hour on this Monday, 800-848-9222. I have a question to ask you. I really want to know what you think about this. General Motors in Detroit has replaced more than 1,000 jobs with 50 robots. Is this progress or warning signs for American workers? And Mamdani, the socialist mayor of New York City, he thinks he's so slick. So what he's doing right now, the next 24 hours could be extremely dangerous. And if you live in the city of New York or near the city, you have the opportunity to limit Mamdani's damage in terms of a number of key congressional primaries. The election is tomorrow. Basically, this has been unnoticed, silent, but Mamdani has endorsed a number of political novices that nobody's ever heard of that are like 3 times more reckless than he is. So even if you get rid of Mamdani, he's still got his key people in Congress. We'll get to that in just a second. I want to start with the situation in Iran. Right? So it appears that, it's Monday, so the deal is back on again. I want you to listen from Switzerland, Vice President J.D. Vance.
Yesterday was a very, very good day. We made a lot of good progress. We did exactly what we wanted to do, which is accomplish 4 things for the American people. First, we wanted to build a mechanism for keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. It is open. We've seen, of course, gas prices and oil prices come down, millions and millions of barrels of crude and natural gas flowing through the Strait of Hormuz that weren't flowing before. But we also wanted to make sure that we actually set up the coordination mechanism so that we could demine the Straits of Hormuz, so that when there are the conflicts that inevitably come up, we can make sure we work through them rather than that leading to escalation. And that is exactly what we did yesterday. Number 2, we also wanted to build a mechanism, a similar mechanism for deconfliction for the regional ceasefire. As the President of the United States has himself said, sometimes these ceasefires just mean you're shooting a little bit less, but we wanted to make sure that we had the proper coordination set up so that if there is shooting, if Hezbollah fires at Israel or if Israel responds, if there are other conflicts that arise in the region, we're actually talking to each other and figuring out how to stop the shooting, how to make the region safer, our allies and everybody else. We set that up as well. Number 3, and this is probably what we're most excited about as Americans, the Iranians have agreed to invite IAEA inspectors back into their country. That is a major milestone for the American people and the first step in permanently denuclearizing or permanently ending a nuclear weapons program in Iran.
So, progress, folks, but here is the bottom line. President Trump and his administration deserve enormous credit for tackling this problem, which has failed so many other administrations, right? Obama threw money at the problem. The Biden administration did nothing. And here we are, where it falls into President Trump's lap. Let's not forget, this major problem fell into President Trump's lap. He could have ignored it until after the midterms, but he did the right thing by the American people trying to stop a nuclear program in Iran. It appears that has been accomplished. But with these people in Iran, you never know what you're dealing with. It's on again, off again. Then you have the competing factors, so many competing factors as it relates to competing countries in this puzzle, trying to piece it all together to stop the bombing from different countries. And this is just a mess. But I'm still betting on Team Trump. The man is always playing chess, folks, not checkers. 800-848-9222. General Motors in Detroit, I want to hear from you if this is a good idea in terms of 1,000 jobs gone replaced by 50 robots.
General Motors has reduced its electric vehicle ambitions and cut over 1,000 jobs at its Factory Zero plant in Detroit, replacing many of them with about 50 robots, or cobots as they're known. The company says the machines improve safety and efficiency as EV demand slows and cost pressures increase. However, the United Auto Workers Union argues the automation is primarily a cost-cutting move that is eliminating union jobs and has filed grievances against GM. Labor leaders also warn about safety concerns of humans working alongside robots.
So, I'm kind of on the fence about this. Of course, I want to see Americans working. But if productivity is better, I don't know. What do you folks think? 800-848-9222. I guess the bottom line is we need Americans working to put food on the table. Mom Donnie, you think you're so slick, but you have been busted red-handed. So guess what is not working? Folks, when it comes to Kansas City, I have delivered speeches in Kansas City, Kansas, and in Kansas City, Missouri, right? 2 different locations. So Mamdani bases his free transportation system on Kansas City, Missouri. And guess what the officials in Kansas City, Missouri have just announced? That they're going belly up. They can't do it anymore, the free transportation. They took federal COVID money and put it into transportation, and they're losing money. They're out of money. They're declaring they can't do the free buses anymore. So, Mamdani, you got over. You're in office now. But you know from day one this plan was never going to work. And folks, are we this stupid collectively? Did you ever think this man was going to deliver on free transportation in the city of New York? Did you really believe that? Are we really that stupid? Are we really that naive? It comes down to that. And you know what? Socialists have come up with a new scheme. You look at what's happening in D.C., right? The socialists running there and so on, right? The new game is this. As a socialist, I'll promise them free everything. It'll guarantee my election and I'm in. And so now, special early voting wrapped up yesterday in the New York area. Tomorrow is primary day for a number of key races in our area, and I mean several of them. I want you to listen to this from WABC, Channel 7, the ABC affiliate TV in New York.
As voters head to the polls for Tuesday's primary in New York, the battle for Congress between Democratic Socialists and mainstream Democrats is heating up. New York's 13th congressional district might be one of the most contentious. Incumbent Adriano Espaillat, chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, is running for his 6th term and is facing a challenge from political newcomer Daralicia Avila Chevalier. She has been endorsed by New York City Mayor Mamdani. He by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Governor Hochul.
So a number of key congressional races to be decided tomorrow. Mamdani, it's dangerous what he's doing. He is putting his web, if you will, on all these congressional races. So even if you get rid of Mamdani, his agenda and the folks that he has endorsed are more reckless than he is. So even if you get rid of Mamdani, right, he's going to have these members of Congress all over in pockets where you're not going to be able to stop this socialism thing. That's what's happening. I want you to listen to, and I'm going to come right back to some of these races. We see all of your telephone calls. We're about to begin with them. I want you to listen to this. Bill Maher on his HBO, tearing Mamdani a new one.
So you think Mamdani's a great one, huh?
I do. I mean, did you see his Knicks speech? I mean, anyone
not the issue that most concerned me. I don't
it's
need...
worth a watch because the speech was not just about the Knicks. First of all, he recites every Knicks player. I mean, I couldn't do that about the
about the Knicks. He's the mayor of New York.
Well, yeah, but he talks about how it's actually bringing people together. Trump voters, Mamdani voters, how it's overcoming the odds. And he took a speech that was just about celebrating a championship, and he made something bigger about it. He's a talented
okay. Well, it
leader.
doesn't make me forget that his wife loved October 7th attack on Israel, and that he pals around with terrorists.
No, come on. Have you had him on the show?
We ask people like that, Ro. They never come.
I'll talk to him. I think
I
he
would
should
love
come.
that. I think he should too.
Yeah, I think he should come. You have a
I do too. I would love to talk to him.
He's a smart guy, and I think you would find.
I'm not saying he's not a smart guy. He went to the White House.
Yeah,
I mean,
he took.
I know.
like a fiddle.
He went there, but he can't come here.
Yeah. He should come here.
He should come here. Oh, so should AOC? So should all of the Democrats.
No, they should come. You don't bite. You're fine.
I voted for them, not him. But I mean,
he needs Trump's money though, and he doesn't need your money here, unfortunately.
So bottom line, if you want to stop Mamdani and you live in the city of New York, in less than 24 hours, you have the opportunity to start the process. Don't complain if you can vote in the primary and you don't vote and his socialist candidates get in. Because now he won't just have City Hall. He'll have pockets of Congress. And then there's no stopping this socialist agenda. It's in your hands in less than 24 hours. 800-848-9222. Let's begin with Mike in New Jersey, line 1. Mike, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic Carter. How are you? Instead of attacking his agendas, won't you ask him what methodology of Islam he stands on? Because the methodology, there's only one true methodology in Islam, and we don't belong in American politics. We're not supposed to run for office, especially that lady out in Michigan, whatever she's doing, whoever she is. You can't put your hand on the Quran to get sworn in. You just don't do that. We can't come here to a different country and start changing laws because this is not an Islamic country. This is...
Well, I hear you, Mike, but that's exactly what's happening. So, I mean, that train has already left the station. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Mike, line 4, Shirley, New York. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Dominic. Thanks for taking my call. I'm in the automated industry, high-powered conveyor and robots. So in this industry, when you replace workers with the automation, you end up hiring a lot more mechanics to take care of the automation. So you're not losing jobs per se. You're shifting the work to other workers, essentially.
Come on, Mike. You lose 1,000 jobs and you're telling me you're not really replaced by 50 robots, and you're telling me you're not really losing jobs? Come on now.
No, you're losing jobs, but you're not. You're also gaining jobs because you need mechanics to maintain that equipment.
Right, so you may gain 50 jobs. That puts you at what you get back 50 out of losing 1,000. Thank you for the call, folks. I got to take a break. We see all your calls. Remember, the primary is in less than 24 hours. A number of key congressional races. I'll get to some of them. If you don't get out and vote, don't call me complaining about Mamdani. This guy, he is taking us for a number. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Well. America's handsome socialist, Mayor Mamdani of New York City, based his free transportation system on Kansas City, Missouri, and that system has gone bust. They used federal COVID dollars to offer free transportation in Kansas City, Missouri, and now the officials there say no mas. They can't do it anymore. Mamdani sold you a con, and you went for it hook, line, and sinker. He's the mayor. You're stuck with him for 3 years, and he's trying to get socialists in every job that he can imagine. You have several seats that should be safe, traditional Democrat seats for Congress, and now there are competitive races, and many of them because he has endorsed political novice, people that you've never heard of before, and they're crazy and more reckless than him, and they are up in these primaries coming up. So Mamdani is looking to expand the socialism brand. We simply can't afford to do that. You have the opportunity to stop it in several of these competitive primaries. 800-848-9222. Viviana in Brooklyn, what's on your mind?
I am so glad, Dominic, that you are sounding the alarm. There is a chess game that's being conducted between radical Islam and Marxist, socialist, communists, with Bernie Sanders pocketing it. He is paying the bills. He is paying the people to come in and vote. One of the things that people need to know, as my fellow New Yorkers, is not only can they not promise, but they can promise more mayhem. This woman, Daraliza, doesn't believe in prisons. She wants to undo prisons. She wants
Is that the
no
one up against
borders.
Espaillat? Is that the one up against Espaillat? Right,
Yep.
right.
And she
right.
wants no borders, and she wants definitely no ICE or police.
She's a nut job.
Where is she going to get all the safety from? You know?
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I guess to her
Uh-huh.
and the mayor of D.C., those things don't matter.
No, and you know the thing, Dominic, that's really getting my heart is that people are being deceived, but now when we tell them the truth, they don't want to trust us in telling them the truth. They want to believe the deceivers. And let me tell you, everybody, they have no experience. They have no qualifications to hold the office.
None.
They are just getting the placeholder in the chessboard. And we can stop them by going in mass and voting for Espaillat. Telling your friends, your neighbors, your family.
You're correct. Hey, Viviana, I have to move on. Thank you for the wonderful call. So in the 10th Congressional District in Lower Manhattan and parts of Brooklyn, you have two-term Democrat Congressman Dan Golden up against a strong contest of Brad Lander, the former New York City controller, who's endorsed by Mamdani and by Bernie Sanders, as Viviana just pointed out. Folks, it's in your hand. The primaries are actually tomorrow. It really is do or die. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And if you think you're behind the eight ball now with this socialism thing from London to New York City and pockets of America, wait until about 24 hours from now. If you think it's bad now, it's about to go from bad to worse. Because Mamdani has done this in a very quiet way. He has endorsed a number of candidates, insurgents, political novice with no experience in primaries in New York. And if you think Mamdani is reckless, just look at the people that he has endorsed. And here's what you need to know. His people are guaranteed to vote. Are you going to vote? If you don't vote, you no longer just have Mamdani, the socialist, as the mayor. Now you're going to have socialist members of Congress where traditional Democrats are bye-bye, gone. That's the reality that is right around the corner. I'm coming right back to that, and we see all your telephone calls. You may have looked at President Trump's Truth Social media account, and I looked the other day, and I saw a picture of one of our owners, billionaire owners, Margot Katzimatidis. And then I found out it was from Camp David a few years ago, and I had no idea that the billionaire owners of this station helped build a chapel for the President of the United States years ago at Camp David. Doing the morning show here in New York this morning, Mr. Katzimatidis talked about this.
What the heck is the story behind President Trump on his True Social account posting a picture of your wife and our fearless co-leader here at WABC, Margot Katzimatidis, on his site. What's going on here?
Well, it started a very long time ago. And it started, we're talking about Camp David. And Camp David never, ever had a chapel. And under Bush 41, a lot of Greek Orthodox, myself, Father Alex, and a lot of Catholics, a lot of Jews. Give me time, I remember the names. We all got together and we built a chapel at Camp David. And Bush 41, we had a big presentation. We were all at Camp David. We spent some time there. My God, I guess 1991, maybe?
So 35 years ago.
35 years ago. It was a beautiful chapel. The library at the chapel, Camp David, is named after my daughter, Andrea, AJ.
So who knew? I learned something new about the owners of this network. You know, something that's just coming in. The family of that teenager that was killed in the horse carriage incident in Central Park, they are demanding that all horse carriage rides come to an end. Maybe it has outlived its usefulness. If you look at I understand the tourism aspect, but if you look at some of these horses, and when you're driving by, you just feel bad for them because the look on their face is like, please help me. I'm so tired. It's so hot out here. So the family is demanding that come to an end. Iran, on again, off again, on again, back, forth, left, right, down, out. Is it stalling? The Vice President, J.D. Vance, said he issued this warning to Iran leaders.
What we told the Iranians yesterday is when you guys engage in what us millennials might call trash talk, you can't expect the President of the United States not to respond and not to correct the record. So when they say things that aren't true, the President is going to respond to it. I'm going to respond to it. Americans are going to respond to it. When they make threats that aren't rooted in reality, they have to accept that the President of the United States is actually going to set the record straight. That's all that happened. So yes, there was a little bit of threatening, there was a little bit of whining, but at the end of the day, the talks continued and we made great progress.
I don't know. I want you to listen to Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina.
Let's try a diplomatic solution. I think it's going to fail. What happens next? I spent 4.5 hours with President Trump Friday. Here's what I think will happen next. If this deal fails, President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz over by force. The United States will control the Strait of Hormuz. We'll charge a fee for all those who go through to pay for the operation. And we're going to expand the Abraham Accords in calendar year 2026. We're going to get Saudi Arabia to join the Abraham Accords, and which is the biggest change in 5,000 years in the Mideast. And if Iran contests control of the Strait of Hormuz by the United States, we will obliterate them. So to all the people listening, if this diplomatic effort fails, President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz. Yep. We're going to run it. We're going to try to get Saudi Arabia to join the Abraham Accords to end the Arab-Israeli conflict in 2026. And if Iran continues to attack Israel and Lebanon, the new policy will be we'll hit Iran. So to the Iranians, if you're listening, when you use Hezbollah to attack Israel, I think the new policy will be we will attack Iran.
So many competing interests in this. I just don't know, folks, if this is worth the paper that it's written on. Let's go to line 4, Michael in Rockland County. But let me be clear. I am in the corner 1,000% of this president. I believe the man is always playing chess. It's foolish to think that we know all of what he knows. And I'm betting on him at the end of the day because he's the one that's in line to going down in history as the greatest president of the United States ever, and that's Donald Trump. Michael in Rockland County, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I have an interesting question. Why, when it comes to immigration, in the blue state says, I don't let in ICE. But when it comes to voting, so the red states also says, oh, in the red states,
Wait, I'm sorry, Michael. I can't understand what you're saying. You said when it comes to the blue states, what was that? They
Why can't they fight with the federal that says that I don't let in the ICE to take the immigrants out. But the voting, all the red states says that you must have a ID to vote.
Can you state it more simple? I'm not following what you're saying. I know you're trying to do a contrast, but I'm not getting it. I'm sorry.
My question is, why can't all the red states says that when it's coming to voting, should they all have ID to vote?
Well, we support that. That's what we want, right? I don't understand what your question is.
Why didn't the states do it? The red states, all the red states says that you must have ID.
Well, that's not the issue right now. The issue is the Democrats in Congress are blocking this thing. But it's interesting. Thank you for the call. It's interesting that the new Obama Center for King Obama, you got to have ID to get into that. But Democrats don't want you to have ID to vote. Oh, it's racist. It's racist. It takes us back to slavery. Stop the nonsense in the game. Okay, the games. You need ID to do anything, right? If you're at a casino and let's say you have a good day winning wise, no ID, no moolah, no big moolah. So come on, let's stop these games and get real here. Let's see. Let's go to Linda in the Bronx. Linda, what's on your mind?
Oh, Dominic, I love you. I'm a first-time caller, and I love your show. I just want to tell you I'd love to vote tomorrow, but there's no Republican voting in there's no Republican running in the Throgs Neck Pelham Bay District 31, Assembly 82, and I was wondering if you could speak to someone because I called. AOC is my
okay, but wait. Linda, if there's no Republican running in that race, what should that tell you? Who is that really a reflection of?
It's horrible.
No. Who is that a reflection of?
Well, yeah, I know it's the voters.
Right, it's a reflection of the people. It's a reflection of the party. If you're going to just concede a seat, that makes no sense. I guess they figure, I don't know the details of that contest. I guess they just figure it's not competitive. I mean, they could barely field a candidate to run for mayor. I mean, when we're being honest about this, right? So I just think, Linda, I'll let you finish, but I just think it's a reflection of we the people.
Absolutely right. We have homeless shelters on Crosby Avenue coming up left and right. And AOC is my congresswoman, so I can't even call her and complain.
Good luck with that.
I know you know the area well. You were brought up here, as was I, but it's absolutely hideous. We have people in the benches on Crosby Avenue, all homeless. You can't even bring a grandchild with the stroller, and you have the young people who want to move out of the area. My husband wants to move. I said, no, I'm a warrior. I am fighting. I am not leaving because I just don't think that's the answer either.
Right. Well, I'm glad you're willing to fight for what's yours. We have to get strategic about this, all of us collectively, and find a way to fight back. Because one of the things that I'm also not pleased with, and I was asked this question last night, I know this is not politically correct, but at times I'm not politically correct. I am terribly worried with all of these mosques that are popping up everywhere. This is America the last time I checked. Can American go to a Muslim country and buy up all the real estate and do the things that are being done here? I don't think so. Because it's not just buying a mosque. It's the praying that comes with it. It's the loud early morning sounds that will scare you half to death, that go off several times a day. I really am worried because they are taking advantage. I'm talking about the mosque of the American system. They go to small communities. They know the small communities legally can't fight back. They don't have the pockets to fight back. So you buy up several locations, turn them into mosques. The town says no. It's all a game. You're going into court. They can only fight one or two lawsuits and only for a certain amount of time. They don't have the dollars. But the people with the mosque have deep pockets. Thus, it means you're going to get whatever you want. It has to give. Something has to stop here. Let's go to Sandra, line 4, New Jersey. Sandra, what's on your mind?
Well, I was happy to hear that this family wants to sue about the horses pulling these very heavy carriages. Look, I think it's inhumane to treat these horses this way. They suffer from musculoskeletal problems. Their hoofs get infected. They have to breathe in all this dirty air and from the brakes, the smog, the noise.
But Sandra, you know, Sandra, I can see the emails that I'm receiving right about now, right? And people say, well, look, if these horses didn't get this opportunity, notice I said opportunity, they would be put to sleep.
No, that's where they're wrong. Those horses will go to farms. Those horses will go to places where they can graze and enjoy the rest of their life. They will not be put to sleep. That's for sure. Because otherwise, I would say, then let's just have them walking around Central Park where there are no cars at all. But listen, this is not fair what they're doing to the horses. If we had Mr. Ed, the talking horse, we would hear these other horses saying, I don't want to do this. I want to live my life differently. But these horses don't talk like Mr. Ed. So we have to speak for them. It's inhumane. You listen, they're going to make these beautiful vintage carriages that look just like the real thing, and they have already men pulling people along, pedaling, and they're going to have little golf course cars to get people around to see the city. They don't have to abuse these horses. That's
Sandra, what about this is a tourism thing in other cities as well? So New York is just going to lose out on this?
No, I just said they're going to make alternative changes. They'll have beautiful vintage carriages. And you know what? People will quickly forget, and they'll remember.
But wait, who would pull the carriages? Or what would pull the carriages?
No, it's going to be done electrically. That's how they're going to go. And they're going to go very slow, and they're going to be very quiet. They're going to be very lovely, quite frankly. This is terrible what they're doing to these horses. And I'm happy that this family's going to sue. But I don't want these horses to be punished as a result. They will go to farms. They will go to places where they can graze and enjoy their lives. That has to be a must.
Fair enough, Sandra. Thank you for the call. Let's go to line 1. Joe in Trenton, New Jersey. Joe, what's on your mind?
With the issue in Detroit, you got 50 robots replaced with 1,000 workers. So that's 20 workers per robot. You figure each worker, on average, I would think, is making $250,000 a year between salary and benefits. So that's $5 million per robot they're saving, which comes out to.
I'm short on time. I don't think they were making $250,000 salary. What's the point you're trying to make, Joe? I'm short on time.
As a consumer, they're going to pass that on to the consumer, or the cost of the robots more than what they're saving replacing the workers.
Well, that's a very, very good question. I don't have the answer in front of me. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But 1,000 workers gone, 50 robots coming in. Is this a wave of the future? I wish I could do the numbers and figure it out right now, Joe. I just don't have the time to do so. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. As far as the horses, Central Park, please don't send me a million emails on each side of this issue. I'm still on the fence. When I drive by, I look at the horses, and sometimes it's hot, and you look at their faces, and their faces look like, please help me. Please get this carriage off of me. Let me be free. I'm not used to hearing all these horns and all of this activity. And then the other side emails me a million times to say, listen, if they weren't in Central Park, they would be glue right now. They would be dead, so at least they have life. I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I just heard what Sandra had to say. She made a compelling case. I'm looking at a tweet from the lovely DMS about the primaries tomorrow. Mamdani is pulling a sneak attack on you, and you didn't even see it coming. The polls open at 6 a.m., and he has endorsed a number of insurgent candidates up against traditional Democrats. And DMS says that they are, that is Mamdani's candidates, that they are carpetbaggers, transplants that didn't grow up here. She says they don't know the communities. All they know is that if they sign on and pledge to obey the DSA policies, the DSA machine will back them up to provide the ground game and get them elected. Experience doesn't matter. Personal interpretation of policies is not permitted. And that one of their policies is anti-Israel, she says. And with that, they talk about Palestine. She says, tell me, Dominic, what the heck does Palestine have to do with the economics of New York City? Well said, DMS. Let's go to Bob, line 5 in the Poconos. Bob, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I have. I'm a first-time caller, Dominic. Two
Fantastic.
things. One is all of a sudden we're hearing about all this flooding that goes on in lower Manhattan with all the rains. And last year,
and
all
Queens
these
and
people had
Brooklyn,
passed away.
and you have, I know you're talking about the flooding, but you have lots of traffic problems in the Poconos as well. I used to have a weekend home there, so I'm very familiar with it. But go ahead, Bob.
Flooding from the rains.
No, I know you said flooding. I said traffic. I said flooding in Manhattan, flooding in Brooklyn, flooding in Queens, traffic in the Poconos. Go ahead, Bob. I'm short on time.
Talking about rain that's coming in. All these
Okay,
people died
for the
year.
last time I heard you. Go ahead.
Okay. My other issue is with Iran, with President Trump. I thought there was going to be a big regime change, and that they would have to be able to have the Straits of Hormuz open, and that they would be able to change the name from Iran back to Persia.
Right. Well, it doesn't sound like you're realistic, Bob, to be honest with you, on the Iran front. Thank you for the call. Gail, line 1, Manhattan. Go ahead, Gail.
Hi. It's nonsense to think these horses, the carriage horses, will be retired to beautiful green pastures and wined and dined. It's very expensive to keep a horse for years in retirement. No one is stepping up. These are not fancy race horses with put out to stud to breed. They're have a one-way ticket to the glue factory. They were rescued from the slaughterhouse, from death row lineup, rescued to be given some more life on the carriage. Maybe we should let them decide. I think they would vote for the extended life no matter what.
Okay, well, Gail, what about the fact that you look at the faces of the horses, they all look like they're about to drop dead right then and there.
They look like that. Well, they wouldn't have any expression if they were dead. So you're really saying they're better off dead. They would look.
Please don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I'm giving you the alternative, what the other side says. Don't put words in my mouth. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Erica, line 4, that is, Upper West Side. Erica, what's on your mind?
Hi, I've lived on the Upper West Side, a half block down from Strawberry Fields for about 6 decades. I go to Central Park every day. I will bet 95% or more of all those people against the horse carriages have never visited the stables, never looked over the horses. I look at them every day. They all look content. I talk to the drivers. I talk to the drivers at the stables. They would.
Okay, but Erica, the drivers, it's in their interest to say the horses are wonderful, and the stables are not near Strawberry Field at all. They're in the 30s and 20s, closer to 10th, 11th Avenue.
Yeah, they are. That's true. I wish they would put the stables back on 86th Street where they are. They have stables on 86th Street in Central Park. Also, I'd like to suggest maybe putting up a hitching post on Central Park South.
I hear you, Erica. I'm just out of time. Thank you. America's heroes need your help now. Do good in their honor by donating $11 a month. $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?